Jessica Johnson. I chose my background for the presentation to be the outdoor backyard because of the constant growth, renewal, and beauty it represents, just as I am constantly doing as a student of life. The bottom here represents the past. It's where I come from or what I've already learned and carry with me. The second middle tier here is the present, where I am, what I'm learning to help mold my future. And the future up here is where I intend to be and will maintain my lessons to stay a healthy, holistic person. What I did was connect each principle or dimension with its own color of ribbon, its connection leading from the past, present to future. First of all, I start with the physical principle or dimension, which is connected with a jump rope here. And my motorcycle helmet is what I use to protect myself from injury or harm. Most importantly, right here is my AA sobriety chip. It's 24 years of my abstaining from alcohol and drugs. Being sober is an enormous part of my life. In my teenage years, I lost everything and everyone. I never want to go back, and I'm grateful every day for the life I have thanks to sobriety. Okay, my present is right here. It's my water bottle, protein bar, and dream catcher, along with the jump rope here. They represent the importance I place on adequate nutrition, exercise, and rest, along with staying physically healthy in general by staying in touch with my body through identifying symptoms of disease and getting regular medical checkups. I learned that currently this is one of my stronger principles that I've already educated myself on and am doing good at. In the future, I want to continue maintaining a healthy me, becoming a representation, and be able to write the book on the importance of physical well-being. That's what this book represents. The next is the emotional. It's connected with the red ribbon. The next is the emotional principle or dimension. The past is the clock, which represents the importance of not only my time management skills, the importance of other people's time. Something I was terrible at early on in life, but I've learned its significance in later years. Present. Boy, did I learn a lot in class. First of all, the lesson that showed all the stress management skills, which are right here, really shed a lot of light and gave me additional tools. I'm so excited about this list that I've taped it on my wall next to my desk and use it whenever a stressor appears. Next is the smiley face, which is the lessons showing the importance of cultivating an optimistic attitude, which I've already been working on, but I'm really truly working on now, especially with the affirmations that I repeat every day. The final representation for the present emotional dimension I learned and struggled with is death. I do not have human children, but this was my baby boy Marley, who unexpectedly died in my arms due to a ruptured spleen on February 4th of this year. I have never cried or been so depressed over anything my entire life. The class and lessons really helped in my healing process with this. It gave me the ability to recognize the importance of surrounding myself with a positive support network and taught me how to practice relaxation techniques that I was previously unaware of. Next, my future is represented by toothpicks and a heart. The toothpicks are a reminder to keep putting down the bat that I like to beat myself up with and pick up a toothpick because they don't hurt as bad. Unless, of course, I try to poke out an eye or something. The other is a heart, which encompasses optimism, positive self-acceptance, and self-esteem, and the ability to share feelings. My ultimate future goal is to truly accept and forgive and constantly be attentive to thoughts and feelings of myself and others. Next is the social principle, which is connected by this purple ribbon. The past starts with the representation of this mother-daughter plaque, as my mother is the ultimate representation of the creation of a supportive network of friends and family who care about and love me for who I am, even in moments that I have a hard time loving myself. They give respect, encouragement, and reinforcement for practicing healthy habits in themselves and within me. Second is a social representation of the importance of being a part of a group or organization, which creates a sense of belonging through contribution, community, and the world. I'm a huge advocate of animals, and I volunteered for Westside German Shepherd Rescue in California, transporting, rescuing, and placing. This is also where I got Marley. I also give money and time when I can to Best Friends Animal Society in Utah. The present is this bear. It's representative of the importance of the intimate relationship that I have. Thanks to this class, I learned the most important lessons about myself, ideals, and values towards commitment and intimate relationships. I struggled for years on why I picked the wrong men to be in relationships with, and it took a reversal of DeMartini's chapter to make me realize that I was constantly wanting the man who challenged me, but they were the ones who were emotionally unavailable. Whereas the one man who had been my friend for the last 6 years was the most supportive, trustworthy, and emotionally available person I knew, and he had been standing in front of me all along. Getting rid of the fantasy that I needed to be challenged instead of supporting it and turning it around in order to be a healthy balance has allowed me to stop fighting a battle within myself and find true love in the purest form. Yay, lesson learned. The future is representative of a speaker behind a podium. Ultimately, I want to be in the position to be able to share my talents, skills, and lessons I've learned with others. I want to leave a legacy, even if it's just a small one. Okay, the next is the environmental principle or dimension, and it's connected with a brown natural twine. It starts with a light switch, which represents the importance of turning off lights, electronics, and appliances when not in use, and the reduce, recycle, reuse, which I was taught in an early age, including not buying what I don't need. The importance lies with being aware of the state of the earth and the effects of daily habits on the physical environment, to include conserving water and other resources. Which brings me to the present, where I've recently started to use all natural cleaning and bath products to minimize chemical use to help the environment. Also, I've started to use the light rail system, which is represented here by my bus pass through school, in order to try to cut down my pollution contribution. This is my future. The rock is a representation of my future. I want to continue to work on maintaining a way of life that maximizes harmony with the earth and minimizes harm to the environment. It's my responsibility to be constantly renewing my relationship with the earth, thus always working on reducing my carbon footprint. Next is my spiritual principle or dimension, which is connected with a white ribbon. The past is represented first by this picture from Fort Logan National Cemetery. One of the most influential people in my life is buried there. He was my adoptive dad, and he gave me one of the greatest and most inspirational gifts. Years ago, when I was trying to find God, he saw me really struggling to find meaning and purpose. He said to me, "I'll give you my God until I find you yours. Until you find yours." Neither of us realized how detrimental that was for me at the time, but it alleviated so much stress and pressure. I ultimately learned that just as individual as we are people, so is our connection and understanding of our higher power. There is no right or wrong with any of that. So the next item is the power of now. It represents the importance of being present in everything I do. Okay. The present. The class taught me of the importance of listening with my heart, and living by my values and principles, which the crystal represents, along with my spiritual core, my core of healing and connection with the earth, which is in direct relation to my higher power. The class also fed my curiosity and thirst for knowledge, as I'm constantly evolving through education of my guiding beliefs that gave direction in my life. My future is a direct representation of how I see myself, which is a fairy, a nature angel. A lifetime goal of being open spiritually means allowing myself and others the freedom and respect to be who they are, constantly seeing and embracing the opportunities for growth in the challenges life brings me, always having a sense of meaning and purpose. Also, a big plan for the future is to learn to meditate regularly, as represented by this rock picture, along with a commitment to spend more time alone in nature in order to strengthen my spiritual connection. Next, the intellectual... Sorry, this fell apart. Let me fix it. So next is the intellectual principle or dimension as connected by the pink ribbon. In the past, the Aerial Acrobatic Festival represents the importance of attending museum, exhibits, and theater, getting in touch with the creative side and learning to appreciate all that is a part of it, along with surrounding myself and seeking out people who challenge me intellectually. Can you pause that? Present, staying up to date with current events, reading and taking a course or workshop as represented by the news picture and the values book allows me to keep learning and maintaining an active mind, which of course the class taught me. The future is represented by the saying, never stop learning because life never stops teaching, which reminds me that I always need to strive for personal growth and be willing to seek out and use new information. Also, as a representation of me, I wanted to show this blooming flower, which closes at night to absorb the lighter information it receives during the day when open, a future that encourages openness to new ideas, motivation to master new skills, maintenance of creativity, curiosity, and a sense of humor. The last principle or dimension is occupational, and it's connected with a black ribbon. In the past, during my search for a new career, I had to explore a variety of career options and create a vision for my future. So I looked into family history and what they were good at. I found nursing. It's what my grandma and great-grandma did, and they loved it. These pins are my grandmother's. She was in the nursing corps during World War I, in which the government paid for their schooling in anticipation of them helping the troops. Luckily, the war ended just as she finished, but she made an amazing, fulfilling career out of being of service to others. Being of service is definitely something I find fulfilling. Also, I took the leap and went back to school at 40 to follow in matriarchal footsteps. Presently, in choosing a career that is consistent with my personal values, interests, personality, and beliefs, I fortunately took a side road to nursing and found the integrative therapy program. I found my happy home, and although I intend on still going to nursing school, I plan on ecstatically graduating with the ITP bachelor's first. For the future, I chose this hospice picture and a future RN picture to represent my final steps in my career path. I believe that being open to change and learning new skills, I will gain purpose, happiness, and enrichment in my future life. I noticed in putting this project together that my highest values absolutely shine through. My thirst for knowledge and connection to the earth is very dominant within the representations of themselves. Ultimately, the future is ours for the taking. What we do with our education and knowledge and how we share it with others is what paves the way for success. Being a direct representation of a true holistic being by living according to our highest values leaves a legacy for others to build upon. Thank you.